Hey everybody, welcome to LettermenRow.com. I am Jeremy Birmingham. This is Birminology. We are talking to Ohio State targets around the country this week. We are staying in the class of 2022, heading outside of Philadelphia, PA, to talk to running back Nick Singleton at Governor Mifflin High School. Nick, thanks for taking time to join the show. I know you're just wrapping up a workout. How are things going, man? It's
been going good. Everything's been going good.
Nick, it's funny. I mean, you've been recruited by Ohio State now for well over a year. And because of the way that the pandemic thing has occurred, I don't think a lot of people really know much about you. I know you're not a real attention seeker on social media, and that changes things a little bit. But I want to ask you, just what is it about you that makes you a top target for Ohio State, for Notre Dame, for Penn State, for a lot of other schools around the country, Michigan, Wisconsin? What is it about Nick Singleton as a football player and as a young man away from the game that has captured the attention of all these schools?
Really, just my work ethic. I've been loving the game of football for a long time. I've been working on my game, my speed, my strength, my vision around the field. I've been working for a long time, so my work ethic is really good.
Has it been hard for you in this last year? I mean, obviously, there's only so much you can do in these FaceTime conversations, these Zoom calls. How anxious are you to get an opportunity to get back on the road? I know you did make some visits before the pandemic started, but now that you have a firmly established relationship with all these schools, it seems like you have to just be absolutely dying to get to these places.
Yeah, I'm really dying to get to these places. Most of these schools I haven't been up to. I didn't meet all these coaches. I only met them FaceTiming. So I'm really anxious to get up there soon, especially for Ohio State.
What schools have you actually already been to?
I've been to Penn State, Notre Dame, Michigan. There's North Carolina, South Carolina, Wisconsin. Well, those are the main schools. Ohio State I've been up to for just looking on the campus, but I haven't interact with the coaches.
When did you get a chance to do that?
I did that. I don't know the exact date. I think somewhere in January.
So in the middle of the dead period. So you and the family made the trip?
Yeah.
Obviously that speaks to your interest in Ohio State. Not a lot of people are going to make a 7-hour drive in the middle of January from Philadelphia to Columbus. What did you see there? What did you think about the city? I mean, did you get an opportunity to really check out the campus? What caught your eye on that sort of trip?
Well, yeah, I saw the stadium, went up close to the stadium. It was a really nice stadium. Saw a little bit of campus, saw a lot of people, saw some of the facilities, and outside of the facility. So I saw a little bit of that.
Has it been, for you in the relationship that you have with Ohio State, how much of that has been built with Tony Alford? How much has it built with Ryan Day? How much is it being built with the recruits in the class? I mean, how would you break down the relationship you have with the Buckeyes and what makes that relationship unique for you?
Well, yeah, the relationship was good. Alford, we'll text literally every day. Just really check it out with me. Also, Coach Day, I've been talking to Trayvon Henderson. Really, he's been telling me he wants to be part of the class, man. He's been telling me he likes my game. He wants me to be part of Ohio State. He's running back room.
So Trayvon's obviously an interesting case. I mean, he committed to Ohio State without ever visiting. Right now, you have an official visit set up to Ohio State. What trips are you making in June? Do you know of? And what do you think is the importance of getting to Ohio State at the end of June?
I'm visiting, obviously, Wisconsin, Penn State, Notre Dame, Northwestern, Ohio State. And I just really want to see, meet all the coaches, get a chance to see all the facilities, and just experience that college life around with the players. And, yeah.
Is there, obviously those are 5 very good schools, very good football programs. Northwestern, I think if you look, most people on the outside looking in will be like, oh, why would, he's looking at Ohio State, Notre Dame. What is it about Pat Fitzgerald's program that you find appealing? Because I know just from getting to cover Ohio State football in the last decade plus, I can't think of many coaches I like more than Pat Fitzgerald. So I'm just curious from a recruit standpoint, how do they appeal to you?
Well, yeah, I've talked to him, Coach Lou. They've been always doing Zoom meetings a lot with me, just showing around the facilities, the campuses. And Fitzgerald, he was real good dude. He speaks highly of his staff. He's building a great program at Northwestern. And he's been always talking about like that degree you get from Northwestern, like you're set for life. He's been always stating.
What is it about Tony Alford that you like? What makes the relationship you guys have different? I know you're saying you're texting most every day. I mean, how much of that is about football? How much of that is just about two guys who are starting to, lean on each other and trust each other?
But yeah, we'll just really text on each other, like just reaching out, just checking in with us. He's a funny dude. We'll joke about stuff. Just really good relationship.
Have you? Obviously, it's going to sound like I'm answering my own question when you start to have official visits figured out. But how did you get to this point? How did you break down to these 5 schools for officials? How did you parse things down with all of this information out there?
Really just obviously helping my family. I want to see schools that I haven't been to, like Ohio State and Northwestern. I've been to Notre Dame and Penn State, but I didn't experience like that camp, like college life around when I went there. So I wanted to experience that. Also, Wisconsin too.
Is there any pressure to stay home in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania? I know that in the class of 2021, I think 9 of the top 10 players in Pennsylvania left the state.
Yeah, right.
And that's, on the outside looking in, people would say, "Whoa, that might be a problem." But how does that weigh on you as a kid that's grown up in Pennsylvania? And do you feel like you have a pressure to stay there?
I mean, it's not a lot of pressure, but most of these recruits we have a good class coming on for 22 for Penn State. All these in-state players committed to Penn State. They've been telling me to commit, be part of the 22 class, and stay in PA, really. And especially the running backs they produced at Penn State, like Saquon, Miles, Journey, they brought from PA, so they've been telling me that a lot.
I think it's interesting. One of the things I'm sure that schools who are recruiting you will say about Ohio State is to look at the depth chart. And they have, it's been talked about a lot in our circles all spring that the Buckeyes have 6 tailbacks on their roster right now, 2 freshmen. There's discussion about maybe bringing in 2 guys in the class of 2022. But if you look at the schools you're committed to or that you're interested in, Notre Dame has a running back committed. Ohio State's obviously recruiting others. Do you care if there's another back in this class, or is it Evan Pryor? He actually wanted a second running back in the class of 2021. What is your opinion on that? What's your take?
They can get how many running backs they want. I like to compete. Like I want to compete for my spot. Like that's a player I am, really. So it doesn't really matter how many running backs they get.
What do you do away from the game, Nick? What makes you tick off the field?
Say it again.
What do you do away from the game? What makes you tick off the field? What do you like to do for fun? How do you unwind? What motivates you to wake up every day and go to the field and go to the gym and do the things that you have to do?
Really, just when I get home, I'll probably just really what I do like on my free time. Really, you saying?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I watch TV, hang out with my friends. We usually watch football stuff, really. So that really gets me hyped for the game.
There's no show on Netflix you're binge watching?
Like All American, that's how I watch.
That's I talk to a lot of the kids and they all say the same thing. What is it about All American that I know it's about football? What is it about that you identify with? Is it just because it's football?
Well, no, this kid, he comes from like a rough neighborhood. He's always been working. He leans on certain people. It was a really good show. Yeah.
Do you, as a kid who, and I'm maybe taking a geographical stretch here because I'm not entirely familiar with the lay of the land in Eastern PA, but do you call yourself a kid from West Philadelphia, born and raised, or is the Fresh Prince thing? Does that matter? Do you ever, is that played when you guys are coming onto the field? DJ Jazzy
really.
Jeff?
Nah, not really. Nah, not like that.
See, this is how I know I'm getting way too old, Nick. Way too old. Let's say, so you get these official visits out of the way in June, right? What's the plan? Is it 5 weekends in a row and then make a commitment? Is it 5 weekends in a row, take a month off to digest? How do you see this unwinding and playing out from here?
Yeah, somewhere in July, after my officials in June, I'll probably make a plan and commit soon in July somewhere. Probably late July, I'm thinking.
What is the one or two things that like you're going to go on these trips, and what's the one or two items that a school has to check off for you to really still consider them after that visit?
I just like my family has to feel comfortable for me, like being there, like has to feel like a home, like it's second home, really for me. And great relationship with the coaches. That's what I'm looking for.
Have you started to think about what you want to study in college? I mean, let's say, God forbid, football doesn't work out. What's your life looking like after football?
My parents been pushing me for physical therapy, so I've been leaning towards that right now.
Are you doing any of the camp circuit this summer? I know that, it's kind of weird with the pandemic and the way everything worked out. A lot of kids have kind of even avoided the workouts, circuits, the camps, the combines. What are you doing to get out and compete against other kids right now?
Right now, I'm thinking about doing like the Rival series or the Nike event. I'm thinking about that. Trying to see the dates for that.
So no chance that you're going to sneak over to Columbus, Ohio for the Under Armour camp there in April. Hey, you never know. You got to take in every trip you can get, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's right.
What is, for you as a running back, as you start to break down these programs on the field, what are you looking for? Is it about having a great quarterback? Is it about the offensive line that's there? Is it entirely about the way that they utilize the tailback? I mean, what are you looking for in a program on the field to really separate? When you're talking about Wisconsin, a great running program, Penn State, tons of great running back development, Notre Dame, running back development, great offensive line, Ohio State, a history of running backs. Northwestern, a team that features the tailback. What are you really looking for the most?
Well, obviously looking for a great quarterback, great line, great coaches, and looking for a great system that fits me. That's what I'm looking for.
Is there? I don't want you to name names. What's the weirdest thing a coach has ever said to you to try to recruit you? I'm going to put you right on the spot.
I don't know. There's no saying. There
haven't been any just really weird moments, except for this one.
No, no, not really. No.
Well, look,
no really saying.
Are you happy with the way this recruiting process has gone? I mean, obviously you lost a year in a very key year, but do you feel like it's been handled the way that you wanted? I mean, what's your advice to the next Nick Singleton from your area?
Really, I'm happy about my recruiting, but I wanted to go see more schools, but the COVID obviously happened. So really take advantage of going out to schools more. Really, that's it. I'm contacting more coaches.
How did your season go? Did you guys get a junior season? Did you play like a shortened year? What did they do over there?
Yeah, we got a junior. Yeah, we thankfully got a junior year going, and it was shortened, but we did real good. We got to semifinals. We should have won that game, but we ended up losing.
On the field, Nick, where do you have to make the biggest leap from your junior year to your senior year so that you can win a state championship next year?
Probably, I would say, this might sound weird, but really just running with my left arm. All these coaches keep telling me this, like run with my left arm. I usually run with my right arm when I run to the left. So really just change that, be more of a leader around the field, and really that's it.
Well, look, I know, it's obviously late at night. You're working out, so you're clearly working on the craft. I told you I wouldn't keep you more than 15 minutes, and we're pushing up against that, so I'm going to let you get out of here. I really appreciate you taking the time. That's Nick Singleton. He's one of Ohio State's top tailback targets in the class of 2022. I'm Jeremy Birmingham. This has been Birminology on Lettermen Row. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back next week.